Well, hello everyone. It's been a while, and we have a lot to cover. Today I'll be talking about modern entertainment and its current state, and also the Shill problem I've been hearing about. Imagine if Marvel was able to use the X-Men and the Fantastic Four after Endgame, and hire writers and directors who have knowledge of the source material. Imagine if Ray was actually cool. Imagine if the Acolyte didn't exist. Imagine if DC had a hopeful Superman in Henry Cavill. Imagine if Batman wasn't the Punisher and BVS. Imagine if Ezra Miller wasn't cast as the Flash. Imagine if WWE had an actual creative who can build new stars, book good matches, and have an actual plan for the company moving forward. Imagine if entertainment was actually good. However, that already happened in another timeline, and not this one. Some people will say that I'm overreacting. However, whenever you try to criticize them for their failures, they call the racist, a bigot, and a homophobe for no reason.
Was it to you? Why do you have a problem with these things? The movies and shows aren't that bad. They're way better than you think. You're just being a hater, man. So go if you don't like it.
You see, people, this is the same mentality that got us into this mess. It's the same mentality that makes these companies lazy and uncreative. While the same people who call us haters allowed to champion and glaze them while giving people bad entertainment, and they dare to call it cinema. For example, I've been hearing this Shill problem that's been happening of late. I don't personally hate them, however, I do not respect them. They've completely lost their standards when it comes to being a fan and a moviegoer.
I think I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It clawed its way back up to a 7 from a 6 for me.
I love the show. No one's paying me to say that.
Why the fuck you lying?
Right? It's not the best. It doesn't have to be the best, but it's like solidly good.
You went full retard, man.
Clean! Clean!
Calm the down. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
But he's better, though.
No!
The amount of times that people have said to me, like, objectively, She-Hulk sucked. And it's like, it didn't suck. You didn't like it. I'm made for this show.
It was aimed
to me, and they nailed it. I'm really bummed that Marvel doesn't see, or that Bob doesn't see the value in that, in grabbing me, the me's of the world.
I am woman, hear me roar.
Birds of Prey is another movie, got a lot of crap for in conversation for really, really liking a lot, and I'll probably get it right now for it.
Like it more than most Snyder stuff.
Lady director, all-female cast, really loved it.
And he now officially holds a place in the Guinness Book of fucking retards.
Buddy, I'm tired.
They make these fake positive reviews, they go to these early screenings, they make these weird reaction videos, reacting to these bad movies. And these are the same people who get triggered when they get called out for being a shill. They don't want to criticize these companies for their failures. They're simply there to be mindless bots, to simply consume product.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product.
So, do I like the modern movies and shows they're giving us? Hell no. I don't like them. In fact, I despise them. Man, look at them. They all suck. From the movies, to the shows, to the games. Even music is bad these days. Plus, you can't read comics these days due to their ideological messaging, bad stories, and their terrible artwork. You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes with their fake reviews. You can't trust the media because those people hate you for not watching slop. I mean, these people get paid to shill for these companies and spread out lies. Now, I don't think every shill gets paid by these companies. I would say the ones who have a bigger platform get the most benefits. Sometimes you need to be harsh when it comes to criticism. There are always going to be good movies and there are always going to be bad movies. And this time, bad movies are outnumbering the good movies. It's not even funny anymore. There are good movies that have their own flaws. However, when it comes to those films, as long as it has a good story, talented actors, talented creatives, talented movie directors, and even the love and craft to make it good, people are going to watch it. Why should I heavily invest in these movies and shows if they're just going to give me something of bad quality and then call me names for no reason? They would rather have you be mindless bots who simply consume product. They would rather have you brain dead so that they can dodge accountability and make pointless excuses DC used to be an integrated mess. Instead of making a cohesive universe, they decided to skip all that and play catch up with Marvel. BVS was divisive, Justice League flopped, and other movies followed. DC decided to bring back Zack Snyder. After the Snyder campaign was successful, made his cut and moved on. The Rock decided to take over DC and kept on teasing us that the hierarchy of power of the DC universe is about to change.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Get the coins on!
Flop. I mean, it did change. He brought back Henry Cavill, that was short-lived. And they finally have James Gunn. I'm actually looking forward to his universe. However, there's some movies and shows I am not hyped up for, or even some that I was hyped up, but I'm 50-50, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Marvel. Whew, how the mighty have fallen. Ever since Endgame, their movies have been underperforming. Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine were the only movies who crossed $1 billion in the box office. Other movies that went past 500 million were either unwatchable garbage or just complete dog doo-doo, like your Wakanda Forever's, Love and Thunder, and Doctor Strange Mom. They overwork their VFX artists to the brink of death. They don't hire people who are fans of the comics. Any idea that's brought from the comics is completely shut down. They hate their own source material. They hire people based on race, not merit. They hire buffoons who are told not to read the comics. And there's a lot of evidence to show that that's fact. And that's phase 4 and 5. How hard is it to adapt a comic book into live action? You've done it before. I mean, why didn't you just do it again? It's not that hard for you. Just stop being incompetent. I watched the Star Wars movies, yes, the old ones and the prequels. And guess what? They're actually pretty good. Maybe except the prequels, because the dialogue feels forced and makes the characters sound like NPCs written by an AI. Plus, I hate Jar Jar Binks, he sucks. And Darth Maul's death does not make any sense, continuity-wise. And after watching the Rey trilogy, those movies destroyed my interest for Star Wars. Luke Skywalker used to be a brave and compassionate hero with an impulsive tendency to rush straight through danger and overcame the forces of the Empire by defeating Darth Vader and stopping Emperor Palpatine. However, those glory days are sadly put to rest. Even the shows are bad, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mandalorian Season 2 to Season 3, and the worst yet, The Acolyte.
The power of
This show was teased to be a rematch between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. However, this show was a bait and switch for their attempted efforts, and Obi-Wan being a coward. Rey could have been an interesting protagonist if they wrote as an actual normal character with personal flaws, someone who actually undergoes a hero's journey. But no, we have to be progressive and show everyone that characters like Luke Skywalker were actual frauds and are weak so that they can prop up this bitch. The Rey movies did not make $1 billion just because of her. The Rey movies made $1 billion because of nostalgia bait. Those movies wouldn't have made money if guys like Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker himself were included. But guess what? They all get punished and undergo through worse deaths. So she doesn't require anyone's help, she doesn't need saving, and she's better than Luke Skywalker in each and every way. Rey isn't just an improvement, she is the upgrade. The WWE was very relevant back in the day with its professional wrestling storytelling, and their ability to give us larger-than-life figures to root for or root against. However, current WWE is being run by idiots. I mean an idiot, I mean in Triple H, or I like to call him Paul Levesque. Say what you will with Vince when it came to his booking, at least he would give you a show. But for Triple H, it's not about the fans, it's not about the wrestlers, it's all about him. This egomaniac can't even build new stars. There's no credible superstar who can elevate any title. For example, Cody Rhodes' run was a complete disaster. WWE was lying to us that this guy is a fighting champion, yet we have not seen him defend his title on a Raw or SmackDown. We used to have people like The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, even Roman Reigns became a major star. Even had guys like Big Show, The Great Khali. These guys look like heroes and monsters pulled straight out of a comic book. Nowadays, wrestlers look like your generic everyday-to-day person. production, with no gimmicks, no charisma, no mystique, and no gravitas to even carry the show. These are the same people who get constantly pushed by Triple H. Either you're from the NXT Black and Gold era, or you're just an indie jobber, and you won't even be bothered to push people like LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, or even Karrion Kross, because those wrestlers were able to get a crowd reaction. But people like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, and so on and so forth are shoved down in our throats, and they're so unpleasing to look at. For example, Seth Rollins. How many times have they pushed this guy to the main event? Every time they give him a world title or even push him into the main event, the viewership tanks and his title run becomes stale over time. Triple H thinks that this guy is the A guy, but in reality, he is not the A guy. He has always been the B guy, in fact, even the C guy. And how are you going to take this guy seriously as a credible heel? He looks like a clown. He dresses like a clown. And that stupid laugh.
My ears burn!
Plus, this guy looks like he came from a drag convention, and he makes the Joker look bad in comparison. And also, this noseman's booking has completely destroyed countless WWE stars, even the bigger ones. For example, when Roman Reigns came back, his run as the OTC was him fighting for a stupid necklace, then gets jobbed out by Solo Sikoa, then Seth Rollins, then gets jobbed out again and again and again, just to prop up other wrestlers. And may I remind you that this is one of the last stars you'll ever have in WWE. There is not going to be another Roman Reigns in the near future. CM Punk came back. The guy bored me half to death with his promos. Plus, he's high up in age and he's slow on the ring. I remember when I watched WWE Unreal when Triple H said that CM Punk was going to be his golden boy. Wow, look at how that turned out. Randy Orton hasn't done anything and has become irrelevant. And what makes this clusterfuck even worse is John Cena turning heel just for shock value.
Fuck this shit! Getting this fucking movie and everything went fucking bad. Fuck this shit, man. Fuck.
His heel run is comparable to shit served on a plate. Doesn't do anything evil or diabolic. He gets his ass kicked, whines and complains like a baby. He gets down degraded for Triple H to shove Cody Rhodes in our throats and blames the fans for an abusive relationship. So what's the point of yelling at your fans if they haven't resented you yet?
Are you sure about that?
Why are you blaming the fans for turning yourself heel? Like, no one has hated your ass in a long time. But I can't expect more from Triple H. I wish I could go on the WWE, but that's just my few complaints. However, if you dare to disagree with Triple H's booking, he'll tell you to f*** off. And in simple terms, he tells you, if you don't like it, don't watch. And these bot fans, these shills, are bought into this garbage, and they'll do anything to defend this garbage that Triple H is cooking. And the average WWE viewer, or even random fan, or even fans, have left, have already gone, and they're not coming back. Raw on Netflix has been a flop. These guys can't even hit 3 million views. These guys lie about their record attendances. The tickets are too pricey. It's just price gouging at this point. The wrestlers get injured on a daily. A, for slacking off and not wrestling. And B, for using an unsafe wrestling style. Plus, the women don't even look sexy anymore. They're just big and generic muscle mummies who can't cut a promo to save their lives. And I won't be surprised if he gets fired by TKO, or gets ousted somehow, or get demoted, to say the least. And speaking for TKO, those guys have their own problems. And I pray that Vince buys the company back and fixes everything. And even hell, he can let Shane run it at this point. So that's my concise on how modern entertainment is going. There is a way to possibly fix these things. But due to the company's incompetence and lies, and the show's asking for more garbage, nothing is going to change. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be a fan of these things. It's okay to be a fan of these things. And if you are, more power to you. But please, don't lower your standards and say that these things are good. Because these things aren't good. And please think and consider what could have been or what could still be. If a company is giving you bad movies, you should not blame the fans or just mysterious creatives. And if we continue blaming audiences for not liking mediocrity or call us names for no reason or pretend and continue to show for these companies so that you can make people like you, then nothing's going to change. And when it comes to shows, they don't represent the audience because the audience doesn't watch these modern films. They would rather watch anime or K-pop demon hunters. There's a difference with being passionate about something you like and you being a consumer. And these people have chosen the latter, not the former. We'll have to wait and see what unfolds as the years go by. And my advice to everyone is just be honest with yourself and don't show. I don't want to stretch this video too long and I need to take a nap. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Anywho, like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe. Have a blessed day. And anyways, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.